Throughout the ancient world, massive monuments, temples, pyramids, megalithic circles, and sacred enclosures stand as testaments to the ingenuity, spirituality, and ambition of early civilizations. Yet as modern archaeologists, mathematicians, and alternative historians continue to probe the depths of these enigmatic sites, an unsettling question persists. Are we truly understanding the messages these structures were meant to convey? Or have we, in our confidence in contemporary science, overlooked something profound? Perhaps a universal code, a lost science, or even messages from civilizations far more advanced than we've imagined. From the precise alignments of the Egyptian pyramids to the cosmological carvings of Göbekli Tepe, these sites are more than mere remnants of stone. They may be repositories of ancient wisdom, encoding knowledge of the cosmos, nature, and consciousness itself. Take, for instance, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Constructed over 4,500 years ago, its sheer scale and mathematical sophistication have baffled generations. It is not merely the largest and most enduring stone structure of the ancient world, it's also a marvel of geometry and astronomy. The Great Pyramid is aligned with astonishing accuracy to the cardinal points of the compass, far more precisely than any modern building constructed without advanced technology. Even more perplexing is its use of the golden ratio, phi 1.618, a mathematical constant that appears not only in natural phenomena, from the spiral of galaxies to the growth patterns of plants, but also in Renaissance art and modern design. The ratio of the height of the pyramid to the length of its base mirrors this number closely, hinting at an understanding of universal mathematical principles long before they were formally documented. How did ancient Egyptians, supposedly armed with rudimentary tools and knowledge, embed such advanced mathematical elegance into a monument of such scale? Then there are the alignments, astronomical precision that seems to defy explanation. The pyramids of Giza are believed by some researchers to be aligned with the 3 stars of Orion's belt, a constellation associated with Osiris, the Egyptian god of rebirth and the afterlife. This celestial alignment is echoed in other ancient monuments across the globe. The pyramids of Teotihuacan in Mexico, for example, also appear to align with Orion, suggesting that disparate cultures, separated by oceans and millennia, may have shared a common knowledge or vision of the sky. Could these alignments indicate a universal blueprint passed down from a shared source? Or do they reflect a deeper, perhaps spiritual impulse to mirror the heavens on earth? Were these alignments coincidental, religious, or encoded messages about cosmic order and human destiny? Göbekli Tepe, in southeastern Turkey, a site dated to nearly 12,000 years ago, predating Stonehenge and the pyramids, has added new fuel to this mystery. Unlike later civilizations that built cities and then temples, the builders of Göbekli Tepe did the opposite. They built temples before developing cities. The site consists of dozens of circular enclosures with massive T-shaped limestone pillars, many weighing tons and intricately carved with animal figures, abstract symbols, and humanoid forms. Some of these carvings, such as the vulture stone, pillar 43, have been interpreted by some researchers as a depiction of astronomical events, possibly referencing a comet strike. Perhaps even the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis around 10,800 BCE. If this is true, then Göbekli Tepe may be a kind of time capsule, encoding information about a global catastrophe, or a lost epoch when humanity was more attuned to the cosmos. These symbols, still not fully deciphered, could represent a form of proto-writing, an ancient system of communication we have yet to comprehend. But Göbekli Tepe is not alone in its symbolic mystery. Across the globe, we see similar patterns emerging. In Peru, the geoglyphs of Nazca stretch for miles across the desert floor, forming vast figures of animals, humans, and geometric shapes only fully visible from the sky. Why would an ancient culture design artwork that could only be appreciated from an aerial perspective? The sheer scale and complexity of the Nazca lines suggest not only a knowledge of geometry, but also a potential message meant for the gods, or even for visitors from the sky. Meanwhile, in Mesoamerica, the Mayan civilization embedded their monuments with layers of astronomical and calendrical data, culminating in the infamous long count calendar. Their step pyramids, such as El Castillo at Chichen Itza, are not only architectural feats but also cosmic calculators, aligned to solstices and equinoxes, tracking celestial cycles with remarkable precision. The shadow serpent that appears during the spring equinox slithering down the pyramid steps is a theatrical representation of the union of heaven and earth, suggesting the Maya saw architecture as a living interface between human beings and the cosmos. Such sacred geometry and symbolism appear again in the layout of Angkor Wat in Cambodia. The temple complex, one of the largest religious structures ever built, is not only aligned with the solstices and equinoxes, but also laid out to mirror the constellation Draco. Some researchers argue that Angkor Wat and the surrounding temples form a vast celestial map on the earth, reflecting the heavens above. Once again, we see the theme of as above, so below, a concept rooted in Hermetic philosophy, but seemingly encoded into ancient architecture worldwide. This raises the possibility that ancient builders were working from a shared set of cosmic principles, perhaps inherited from a vanished civilization or a forgotten body of wisdom. The repetition of sacred numbers and geometrical codes across cultures is also striking. The number 108, for example, appears repeatedly in Hinduism, Buddhism, and even in Western esoteric traditions. There are 108 beads in a mala, 108 names of gods, 108 energy lines converging at the heart chakra, and the distance between the Earth and Sun is roughly 108 times the Sun's diameter. Coincidence, or evidence of ancient knowledge about celestial mechanics? The number 72 is another example, appearing in the precession of the equinoxes, a 26,000-year cycle moving 1 degree every 72 years, as well as in the number of names of Osiris, the number of demons in the Ars Goetia, and the number of disciples of Confucius. It's as if ancient cultures encoded mathematical harmonies into their religious systems, architecture, and myths, aware that numbers carried a power beyond the material, a power that could link human life to the very rhythm of the universe. One of the most persistent theories surrounding these codes is that they point to the legacy of a lost civilization, perhaps Atlantis, as Plato suggested, or an even older culture destroyed by cataclysm. Proponents of this theory, like Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson, argue that the global similarities in megalithic architecture, mythology, and sacred science cannot be explained by independent cultural evolution alone. Instead, they propose a forgotten mother culture that seeded the world with knowledge after a global disaster, possibly a comet impact at the end of the last ice age. This would explain why sites like Göbekli Tepe suddenly emerge with advanced knowledge, or why ancient mythologies often speak of civilizers who taught humanity agriculture, astronomy, and the arts after a great flood. Even more provocative is the suggestion that some of these codes may be extraterrestrial in origin. The ancient astronaut theory posits that early humans were visited by beings from other worlds, gods of the sky, who imparted knowledge, technology, and even gene editing capabilities. Proponents point to the recurring images of winged beings, flying discs, and serpent gods across Sumerian, Mesoamerican, and Indian iconography. In Sumer, the Anunnaki were said to have descended from the heavens to create humanity. In Mesoamerica, Quetzalcoatl was the feathered serpent who brought knowledge. Are these just myths or memories of real encounters? If extraterrestrial beings did influence ancient cultures, then the monuments and their codes may be messages, both records of past contact and beacons for future return. Skeptics argue that such interpretations overreach, projecting modern ideas onto ancient cultures without firm evidence. They caution against patternicity, the human tendency to find meaningful patterns in randomness, and warn that many of the mathematical coincidences cited are either exaggerated or retroactively fitted. While mainstream archaeology continues to explain monument construction through religious, political, and social motivations, it has yet to fully address the global consistency of certain codes and symbols. Could it be that the true purpose of many ancient monuments lies somewhere in between, a fusion of spiritual insight, astronomical awareness, and encoded wisdom about humanity's place in the cosmos? In truth, the monuments left behind by ancient civilizations are more than just stone and artistry. They are silent sentinels, still whispering across time. Whether encoded with astronomical alignments, sacred geometry, mathematical constants, or forgotten mythologies, they suggest that ancient peoples were far more attuned to the cosmos than we give them credit for. These codes may not be arbitrary. They may be part of a unified language, a kind of cosmic script that speaks to the connection between mind, matter, and the universe. Perhaps these structures were not built merely to honor gods or house kings, but to function as harmonic machines, resonating with the Earth's frequencies, guiding human consciousness, or preserving knowledge for future epochs. If so, we must ask ourselves, what messages have we missed? What knowledge lies hidden in the stones, waiting for a time when we are once again ready to understand it? As we enter a new era of technology and exploration, maybe we should not only look forward to the stars, but also backward, to the monuments of our ancestors. They may hold the key to rediscovering truths that modern civilization has long forgotten, that we are part of a vast, intelligent design, intricately connected to the rhythm of the cosmos, and that the ancient world may still have secrets to reveal.